Yay! All right, it's working. So we've been learning about 1 point perspective, and it's another drawing technique that you can use. We did our names with sketching and layering and embracing mistakes. We did pumpkins, which was using our observation to draw something, but then also adding imagination and exploring color. Now we're going to use rulers and geometry to do 1 point perspective, because this is just another way to draw. There's so many different ways to draw, and I wanted you to know all about them. But I kind of am getting bored of just drawing in my sketchbook different forms. So for the next 2 weeks, we are going to have a theme. And I don't want to scare you, but imagine this. Imagine, this is going to get kind of deep a little bit. You're 7th grade, you can totally handle this. Imagine that global warming has gotten so intense that there is a hole in the atmosphere, and the hole is getting bigger and bigger, and it has changed the gravitational pull on Earth, and all of a sudden things are starting to get sucked up into the atmosphere. And maybe you are in your room and you're getting sucked up. Maybe you're at the movie theater and you're getting sucked up. Maybe you're at a soccer game and you're getting sucked up. So you need to use 1 point perspective to show what it would look like to get sucked off the face of the earth and into space.
Oh, that would be cool.
Yeah. So I like to call this sucked into space. Yes. Yeah, so you're getting sucked into a black hole vortex. You're the artist. You decide what your fate's going to be. Well, yes. So if this were a real situation, it would not be good. But I'm going to take the slightly comical version of it, and I am going to use my imagination and be a little bit silly with it. You can get a little morbid if you want, but I'm taking more of a comical approach. So if you're getting sucked into space, I love when people walk by and I ask these questions. Where would you be when you're starting to get sucked into space? Imagine what would be getting sucked up around you, and what would that look like? You have to use your imagination to draw this scene, and you have to use 1 point perspective. Yeah.
Can you, like, when you say morbid, you mean that you can make it, like, violent?
I will always have a conversation with you one-on-one, but you can make it a little bit more realistic, and it could become an artwork that maybe has an environmental side to it. Maybe it's a little bit more of a mortality side, or maybe it's like completely funny, like you're in a donut shop and you have like icing on your face and it's crazy. So I will check in with you one-on-one, and I'll go through everybody's ideas with you as well. So today is our day to plan, and we are going to plan in our sketchbook, and I'll show you how to do that in a minute. Here's a couple examples from my students in the past. I've done this project quite a few times and I really love it. So these are some examples from the past. I'm not really sure what the theme is, but I will say, make sure that you do something you like. If you don't like it, you're going to hate this project. So you have to do a theme that you really like. So the person on the right, I believe, was in science class and she was getting sucked up, and I like the toxic goo. The one on the left, I believe, was at the movie theater and they were getting sucked up. So you have a lot of movie themes. Some of them, it's hard to kind of tell what the theme is, but that's okay. Like on the left, it's music and Smarties, and it doesn't maybe make sense to us, but that's okay because the artist did it. On the right, I feel like maybe they were in their room and it's all the objects they like in their house. And these ones are hard to see. There's a Rubik's Cube up there, so I know some of you are thinking of Rubik's Cubes. Down here, there's lemonade. This is the beach. This, I believe, is also somebody's room, so it's their phone. Ice cream coming out of the cone, pencil, all sorts of cool stuff. These ones I know are a little bit harder to see, but I thought it was cool to show you anyway. So what I want to do now is I want to just get started with you together. So I'm going to do a demo of how I plan out my ideas for Sucked into Space, and you can start planning right along with me. But your ideas will probably change, and that's okay. But if you're ready, you can plan along with me. If you just want to think for a little bit, you can. So at the top of my page, I'm on a new page in my sketchbook. I'm writing sucked into space plan, so I know what the heck this is. If you want to put the date, you can. And we are going to be using square paper, so I actually draw a line on the I draw a line to make the bottom of my paper kind of square-ish, and then I have the top for notes. So you don't have to do it that way. Some people draw out a little square, but I'm going to do some notes on top, and I'm going to do some practice drawing on the bottom. So sucked into space. I tend to choose a theme. You don't have to, but it might help you. And when you choose a theme or a place, choose something you like. Or choose something you like to draw. So maybe your theme is Halloween and there's candy and trick-or-treaters and pumpkins. Maybe your theme is the beach. Maybe your theme is your room. Maybe your theme is just things I like. Maybe your theme is music. Choose something that you really enjoy. So mine is going to be movies because I haven't been to the movies in a long time. And I just brainstorm like what kind of objects are associated with my theme. So for me, maybe it's popcorn, containers, tickets. And you could do this. You don't have to write movies. You could do whatever you want. If you ride horses, maybe it's like barn, horses, hay, apple. I don't know. So I'm just brainstorming things that are in that place or within that theme. Soda, candy, film reel. I don't even know if they do that anymore. Seats. And I'm just brainstorming. So that's what I do. I come up with my list of things. And I have a whole bunch of tips that we'll go back to, but I'm going to draw really lightly with a pencil. I am going to use a ruler and stencil. We're going to do vanishing point, and I'll talk about all these other things as I start to draw. So here comes my plan. And I'm going to just plan it out quick in my sketchbook, like 10, 15 minutes. You don't have to make it exact unless you feel like something is challenging to draw and you need to practice it. But we're just going to start our plan quick today, and we will finish it tomorrow for the art start. I put my vanishing point in the middle, no horizon line, because I'm imagining that I'm looking up and things are flying past my face. Again, you don't have to do that. I've had people do the horizon line down here, but their vanishing point up in the sky. That's up to you. But probably the easiest way is just a vanishing point in the middle. Now, I was telling some of you that you really want to get a sense of depth, like some things are close. Whoa! Oh my gosh, it just flew by my face. And some things are really far away. So things that are by the vanishing point are going to be smaller. Things that are on the outside of your paper or your square are going to be bigger. So here we go. I'm just going to draw some rectangles. And again, they don't have to be straight up and down. So maybe I'll just draw a couple here. Maybe one is here. You can repeat things if you're really good at some shapes. Repeat them. And I'm drawing my big ones around the edge. So you don't have to do this. You can just watch me if you want. Use your vanishing point. Connect the corners. This is more advanced, but you could do fadeaway lines if you want. And right now I'm just making forms. So I'm starting with my geometric forms, things like ovals, rectangles, squares. Start with those first. And tomorrow we'll talk about the weird things, the people, the candy. Well, some candy's geometric. I guess actually a lot of candy's geometric. The soda shooting out. So right now I'm just starting with geometric forms. Well, shapes, and now I'm turning them into forms. And then I'm going to use my imagination and say, okay, I have an oval here. It looks like a cylinder now. That cylinder is going to be my soda cup. So for now, since it's just a plan, I might just write soda, get logo. So on my final one, I'll use my Chromebook. I'll look up Pepsi, Coke, Sprite, whatever I want to do. This is a straw. So maybe I just write straw and stripey. So I'm just doing it real quick. So this, I love Sour Patch Kids. So my rectangles, maybe I'll make them a little bit longer. And this could be those boxes of candy at the movie theaters. So I'm basically just using my imagination. I'm like, oh, okay, like this is a box, some kind of packaging. And no matter where you are, there's probably some kind of packaging. So I just label it. And then on my final one, I'm actually going to look at the logo for Sour Patch Kids and use that as my reference. We are going to be using pencil and colored pencil for this, so color will go a long way. And again, if you like the way things are, repeat them. Like maybe I have a box of Sour Patch Kids. Maybe I have two. Maybe I have a box of Sour Patch Kids and a box of M&Ms. Maybe this, I'm going to do another soda over here. So that's one of my big pieces of advice for this is repeat things that you're good at. Oh, so maybe this is going to be my popcorn box. So some things, maybe you start with a geometric form, but then like you have to change it and maybe it's kind of zigzaggy. And this is popcorn now. And the last little tidbit I'll give you is, I want to give you like a million things, but I don't want to overwhelm you. You can have things coming out, and I'll show you this again tomorrow, but what I do is I kind of use those racetracks or erased receding lines. So you see I have those receding lines that I erased. So when I draw my popcorn, I'll draw them along the receding lines, and they go from big-ish, big for popcorn, to very small as it gets to the vanishing point. So you can have things getting sucked out of the boxes. So same thing with the Sour Patch. I have these receding lines. I can draw little Patch Kids coming out of the box if I want. And then they get smaller and smaller and smaller. I'm going to stop there for today.